what's good, guys? Your boy Hugo the Savage back again with another review, episode 1 of the Continental from the world of John Wick. You pissed off, John? Yeah. Episode 1, I think it is entitled Brother in Arms, and it's a 3-part drama. I don't think I knew this when I did the reaction to the trailer, but I'm actually happy, man. Each episode, well, this episode is an hour and 27 minutes, so long time, man. You know what I mean? It's approaching movie times, and I'm not mad at it because I feel like to give the right credence to these characters and to build up the world of what is the Continental and not so much John Wick, you need to get in depth with certain characters and stuff like that. So the synopsis of this, pretty much, there's I think the guy's name is Francis. Oh, don't tell me I'm going to butcher this now. I think it's Francis, and his brother, Winston. And I think the start of this takes place in like 1955, and then it moves on a few years ahead. And I think somebody mentioned in there that it was 20 years. So I'm guessing that the whole thing, what I've been watching from like the 5 minutes in, is from like the 70s. I think about 70, 75. That probably makes sense to me. Pretty much the Winston at this time is living in London and is a businessman. He's a bit of a Jack the Lad kind of con man, but he's making his way up in the business world by scamming certain things. But he's nothing to do with what the Continental is, and his brother is on the other side. His brother, former Vietnam veteran, left there, fell in love with a lady. Find out later on that I think he's down as missing in action. And yeah, gets into some work with the Continental. Shit goes awry. It kind of takes symmetry with what John Wick's world is in the future, where there's no way out. So his only way out is to steal a certain thing, sell it to the person who wants it, and then by selling it, he can get out of the game. And then it takes place in that world of people trying to find him and get the product off him, what he has stolen. Where he stole this from was the Continental Ground in New York, which we know in the future Winston has as his Continental Ground. So it's going to be interesting to see how he acquires that hotel, or even if he does acquire that hotel in this particular series. But yeah, Winston's character is, I'm trying not to give too much away, but he's kidnapped from London, is brought to New York, and the guy who is Mel Gibson's character, who runs the Continental Ground, basically, because he knows that they're brothers, and he did some work with them when they were younger as teenagers, he basically tells him, go and find your brother, innit? Or otherwise I'll kill you, and when I find him, I'll kill him as well. And then that's where we go from there. So, I tell you, like, it's recorded beautifully. The cinematics are beautiful. I love the scenery. I love like the way they've done the cinematic work with certain shots. I think it's cool. The transitions are really good as well. There's enough action to keep you going, but not as much action as John Wick, which is good because we know that John Wick's dialogue is, guns, lots of guns. So we need more dialogue to find out the backstory. So I like the fact they're doing that. There's certain things that, and you'll get it while you're watching it, you're trying to pick up on Easter eggs of, oh, is that, because this is the 70s, is that the guy that we know from, or is that the guy that you know from? And I'm trying to do the same thing as well and trying to enjoy it. The only people, obviously, Winston's there, the concierge is there, but he's a younger gentleman, he's a teenager. He works at the hotel, but he's a teenager. So I'm guessing he's probably about 19. And yeah, man, there's little things that you pick up on that you know from the future of watching John Wick. So the fact that when we watched John Wick 3, Parabellum, you realise that obviously the concierge goes to work with John and tries to, protect the Continental Ground, whereas Winston just sits there and drinks a whiskey. And in this, you realise, oh yeah, Winston, he can't fight. He can hold his own a little bit, but he can't fight. So they allude to that okay, he's a bit of a, you know what I mean? His brother's missus, the one he met, I think he met her in Vietnam. She's a badass. Yen, she's a badass. She might be, so far, what I've seen with people fighting, she's the baddest one. Even though he's supposed to be the guy, she's the badass. So I love her character. There's also another group of people who, one of the guys was in Nam with his brother, and he's got a little crew. I like them as well. And then there's another story taking place where there's a police officer who, basically what you're getting from this is, when we watch John Wick, we're in the world of the Continental Ground instantly, whereas in this one, it takes place outside the Continental Ground, so not in that world, and then inside. And we're trying to merge the two. So even Winston at this current time feels like everything his brother's saying about Continental Ground and the High Table is stories, it's all fables, but it's real. We know that from the future. So I love it. I have to say I love it. And I'm not sure the date it came out on, because I was quite shocked it came out this quick. I think it might have came out on Friday or Saturday. And they're putting out one episode a week because it's a 3-part. So I'm going to look out for that one and definitely bring you guys another review. And hopefully you've watched it by the time. You got a whole week to watch this episode. And you can come back and let me know in the comment section what you think, man. But yeah, man, I've been your boy, Savage. Comment, like, subscribe, and share.